Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared?
See it on a computer. I see a split there. Oh, not here. Oh, see it up there. That's weird. Don't know. Don't know. Exactly. I don't know this word.
Are you listening to my prayer? Can you
Thinking of this one.
understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yada-da, yada-da-da-da, 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 yada-da-da-da. Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yada-da-da-da, 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 yada-da-da-da. Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yada-da-da-da, 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 yada-da-da-da. Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Get it, Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared?
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I am awake and I am prepared. But two questions. Can you hear my voice?
Yes.
Can you understand? A request from all of you to help lift up this Shabbat and speak on my behalf, for sure, but to one another where I cannot. 126. For all that is holy in you. God needs no words, no images with you, no semantics, no service. I need them to share, to confront the deep things, the inner question, the feelings, the opposition, the belief, upward control, the sense of clarity in my creator. The love God is here to cover. God makes it cover. You love God is to love the world God created, and to work to protect it. To love God is to love freely the peace and joy that are within all of us, and to bring that living together.
129. Shabbat is a love story, and this is a love song. One 20 as we light and add our lights to the light of Shabbat.
We're read now.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Millennium Feast. Somebody might have to help me.
That's where we pray, let there be light.
You can do it. You can do it.
Prayer.
All right, one more. No.
Adding also the light of Shabbat, extending it to those who are living in darkness.
One hundred twenty.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner
How good, how sweet, how pleasant to be together on Shabbat. 128. 128.
128. Yai, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Hayav Hayom, Hayav Hayom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Hayom, 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 Shabbat, Shalom. Hayom, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.
Lifting our voices for the Sabbath Queen, 138, verses 1, 2, 5, and 9.
Shabbat, Kabbalat, Shabbat, Shamor Zachor Be'imor Echad Ishmianu Echad Adonai Echad Shmo Echad L'Shimmu Tivoret V'Tila Echad Shabbat Shabbat Ki Mekor Chavarecha Me'erosh Shabbat Shalom Simcha B'Tola Amunei Amsila B'nei Shabbat necha Kabbalat. Lecha Adoni Kabbalat. B'nei Shabbat necha Kabbalat. Lecha Adoni Kabbalat. B'nei Shabbat necha Kabbalat.
Delighted to hear your angelic voices as we welcome the, thank you, as we welcome the ministering angels, 142. I've never sounded more like Darth Vader. I'm trying to get into it.
Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem Hashem, Aleichem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Lechem Shalom, Aleichem Shalom, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Shalom, Aleichem Shalom, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Beit Shalom, Aleichem Shalom, Kadosh.
144.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shmei Rabba V'alma divrach hirutei V'yamlich malchutei V'chayikon Uv'yomechon Uv'chayid l'chol Beit Yisrael B'agala B'agala U'bizman kariv V'yimru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevorach Le'olam Ulam Me'amaya Yitbarach Yitorach V'yishabach Yitar Yitram V'yitnaseh V'yitadar V'yitalel V'yitalal Shmei T'kudisha Baruch Hu Leila Min Kol Birchata V'shiraita Tushbechata V'nechemata Ta'amiran Be'alma V'yimru Amen.
Neverech, 146.
Praise to you, Adonai, our source, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans into infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our source, from whom the evening flows.
Baruch atah Adonai Hamayim Baruch.
150. A reminder that no matter the question, the answer is
Love. Tasir Irenu Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael.
152.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Elohim Adonai Hashem Echad Ahudo Leolam Ad. 154. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol mehodecha ve'hayu advarim ha'ele אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושיננתם לבניך וגברתם בשבתך בצאתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובפניך וקשרתם לאות על ידך והיו תותפות בעיניך ותחתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
159. Sing the song, people, joined in understanding and respect. The song of the source's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravaged by war, now quiet and content. Her soldiers and citizens home to leave no more. The song of a world redeemed, the song of peace.
Amazing age.
$160 with a prayer that we should know peace.
Three lines down in the Hebrew.
"164, rising as you are able to enter formal worship." How many times that silence is grace, and never have I meant it more than in this moment. Continuing through 180 silently together.
It's not working well. I'm wondering if maybe we should leave your mic on your computer. Like that.
Only one mic should be.
Yeah. We'll worry about the visuals later.
I
The PA is screwing everything.
Okay, is that microphone plugged in?
That microphone is
Then that's all we
different.
need.
So that will trigger this camera to work. You have a what? Oh. All right, so this mic is off. That's good. That's all.
You Adonai, to Adonai, to be
180. With a prayer that the one who makes peace should make peace. Do you have any idea how hard it is for a rabbi to not talk? Well, it's harder to not pray. And still we pray 371. Prayer for healing. Inviting those of you who are holding names in your hearts for healing to share them aloud.
Shall we leave with Sarah and Jacob?
Steve Meredith.
Mr. Bromberg, Stuart Godfrey.
Barbara Felder present, Gary Cohn, Sharon Cohn, Karen Raphael, Susan Regier.
Sarah Snow.
Donna Martin. Dave Kaplan, Jeffrey Eisenstein, Paul Porter, and
Suzanne Fisher, Dave Bennett.
Well,
And Rabbi Jack.
Rabbi Jack.
My neck is not sick, just,
But you need healing.
I do need you. Thank you.
That's on Jack.
Prayers accepted.
Adding to your loved ones, Todd Albeli, Ellen Berlin, Amelia Byers, Audrey Cohen, Cantor Bob Cohen, David Eisenstadt, Phyllis Fillmore, Stephen Goodrich, Ron Hall, Rochelle Kahn, John Kippur, Mary Jane Klein, Catherine Korner, Louise Lefkowitz, Jack Lyons, Jane Meyerson, Merle Perlmutter, Robin Sebast, Sloan Shortley, Sam Skolnick, Jennifer Sumber, Lisa Riedman, Ben Wilder, Karen Wilder, Mark Wilner, Kim Wiltsey.
371. All those who suffer should know healing, and those who are not to be healed should know comforts.
The source of strength, bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Yishebeach imotenu mikor habercha. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We do this together, in part by lifting our voices up in song, but also in teaching one another our Torah. With that, I would like to invite our presidents, boy presidents, Jeff Greenberg, to share his Torah with us.
That has become your voice now, which is what the Torah portion is sort of about. Anyhow,
Torah is always on Zion.
it is. Okay. Oh, the picture's good. I'm going to do something that is sort of, I think, against tradition, and I want to just dedicate this to my granddaughter, who is 3 years old today. So anyhow, there's one caveat here. My view of the Torah is a literary one. For me, it weaves the great narrative of our beginnings from Adam and Noah to a sad and wistful Moses looking out on a land of wheat and barley, vines and figs that, after 40 years of wandering, he would never know. The evidence of it, if there is any, is lost. Even the archaeology that they found is kind of iffy. But the proof is of less importance than the story that the books tell. It's a stormy tale of love and betrayal, fratricide, a page-turner of crime and punishment, war and redemption. It's Shakespearean in its psychology, Homeric in its scope, and it's a scenic highway in its twists and turns. So you're entitled to your quibbles with my retelling. Those quibbles, of course, are as relevant as my fractured meanderings. When I first went off to college in 1965, yeah, you can do the math if you want. My father and my younger brother drove me down to Pennsylvania with a car packed with 33 and a third inch vinyl and all the cornball wrong duds that I wouldn't need. Later, my father told me that on their drive back home, my brother, who was with him, opened up, and the words spilled out of him as if the floodgates had been strewn across the Pennsylvania Turnpike. He talked and talked and talked through the next 2 hours. He was always in my shadow. I guess that's the cross that second children bear. But in his case, I think my parents made it worse by treating him as if he were not there. It was Jeff this and Jeff that. My brother Mark must have been waiting in the shadows for this moment. Now Jeff wasn't at home, and the whole scene, the whole dynamic shifted. He took over the mantle and built on it through the rest of my parents' lives. He still lives in their house. Was there a bitter rivalry between us? Not bitter, but unspoken, unsung. We now at least text each other on our birthdays. This may seem a very strange, self-indulgent way to begin a teaching on I can't pronounce this, Ikev, today's Parsha from Deuteronomy. But I think not. There have been many brothers in our biblical tale: Cain, Esau, Joseph and his 12, David and Jonathan yet to come, and all ended poorly. But curiously, one pair, barely remarked upon, forms the backstory of the last 4 books of the Torah: Aaron and Moses, Moses and Aaron, one perpetually in the shadow of the other. It's a unique joining of morality, ethics, and the administrative. It's as if the narrator is not confident enough that such a task would be believable in the hands of one man. So they give us a Gemini, celestial twins fused by conflict and doubt, a visionary and a golden-tongued talker. Usually when the Bible does brothers, there's conflict and resolution. There's none of that here. There are no real scenes in the Parsha, in all 4 books. There are no real scenes featuring the 2 of them, save the striking of the rock for water. There's rare dialogue between them. We sense the inherent rivalry, but there are no scenery-chewing confrontations, save Moses dressing Aaron down over the deaths of his 2 sons. That's the only exception. For 40 years now, the Israelites have been wandering in Sinai. They haven't heard the voice of Moses. They hear the words of Aaron, and they feel the beating heart of Moses. We know the story. It's been told to us since we were children about how the prince of Egypt, the precocious child, was attracted to shiny things and would fit Ozymandias' golden crown on his head. And Pharaoh, fearing this as a sign and wonder, had Moses tested. He placed a golden bowl and an even more brightly glowing ember before him. But to spare him from the wrath of Pharaoh, an angel guided his hand from the coals. To cool his fingers, he brought them to his lips, burning them horrendously. And that was how he became the silent prophet. And when the God of the Hebrews came to him to be his voice, Moses refused, saying that he was heavy of tongue, an imperfect vessel. And from that moment, Aaron, his older brother by 3 years, became his voice, just like I'm doing with Jack today. It's really a wonderful story. It's how our heritage, indeed the heritage of all the Judeo-Christian Islamic thought, became the vision of one man and the words of another. It humanizes the seminal figure of Moses, who's asked to do horrendous things at the Sea of Reeds and to lead a recalcitrant, obstreperous band of people for an impossible 4 decades in an unforgiving wilderness. But the story works precisely because the undercurrent of the narrative is the unspoken rivalry of the 2 brothers. Now, the rabbis will tell you that Moses stood for righteousness and Aaron for peace. They would have us believe that it was a golden partnership. But there's a midrash, a sidebar, if you will, that hints at a darker side that may or may not be so, that Moses was essentially an unloved leader of the Israelites. And in the midrash telling, Aaron was the popular brother. Aaron wore the cool duds and had the lead in the big events, the set pieces of ritual. Moses was relegated to off stage. When he complains to God that the Israelites are rumbling about leaving Egypt, God replies, Moses, how long will you continue to defame my people, my children? At one point, he even contemplates killing his brother after the golden calf unpleasantness. I can't say I ever went that far with my brother. And so it goes through leprosy, rebellion, starvation, heresy, even the earth opening up and swallowing folks whole, an adventure of Odyssean's scope. And then, in a brief scene on Mount Horror, Aaron is gone, called to his people. And that's it, aside from the brief shout out in today's Parsha. As Alice might have said, curiouser and curiouser. Aaron, silver of tongue, singer of song, word man, poet, muse, source of 1,000 pulpit priests and thousands yet to be, but always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Always relegated to be the second fiddle in our story. Always AARON. Aaron. Aaron is dead. Quote, Aaron died there and was buried there, and his son Eliezer became the priest in his stead. For his recounted death scene in today's Parsha, he's given a couple of sentences and he's written out of the story, like a character actor who signs with another sitcom. Moses takes from him his garments and anoints his son to succeed him and buries him there on Mount Horeb. His voice dies there with him. The Bible has several extraordinary eulogies, perhaps none greater than David weeping over Jonathan. You all know it. Your glory, O Israel, lies slain upon your high places. How the mighty have fallen. It doesn't get much better than that, but Aaron is given just a nod and's gone from the story. Aaron, who risked life and limb with Moses in Pharaoh's presence, and with his brother called forth the wrath of God in striking the rock for water. Perhaps Tolstoy was right. Happy families are all alike. Every unhappy family is unhappy in its own way. And this indeed is an unhappy story. It's almost as if the authors of Deuteronomy had a beef with Aaron, delegating to him to an afterthought. Or are the authors trying to tell us something else, trying to convey a change in tone, as if there's now a new Moses, a new sheriff in town? There was a gentleness in the characterization of the old Moses and the text of the earlier books, like that of a master storyteller around a campfire weaving his magic, which is precisely what the authors were doing in Genesis and Exodus. But there's a curious change of voice here. I'd always thought of Moses since I was a young child as a gentle giant, overshadowed in his lifetime by his sister, his wife, even Bezalel, the master builder of the temple. Moses is often passive, breaking character only when he strikes the rock and tosses the tablets. But now, in the concluding chapters of Deuteronomy, he rages like a storefront Elmer Gantry with threats and violence. Beware lest your heart be misled and you turn away and worship strange gods and prostrate yourselves before them. And the wrath of the Lord will be kindled against you, and he will close off the heavens, and there will be no rain, and the ground will not give its produce, and you know the rest, right? There's more. There's much, much more. Does it diminish Moses? In my view, I think so. Before Moses had the robes of his brother to temper his rage, but now he assumes the fears and prejudices and agendas of a ruling class of priests who have written these pages. Don't get me wrong, there's soaring phrases here and surprising metaphors, and this one always gets me. You shall circumcise the foreskin of your heart, therefore, and be no more stiff-necked. I have no idea what the foreskin of your heart is. but seriously, with his brother Aaron chastened by the deaths of his two sons and denied the glory of what he's worked his whole adult life for, the delivery of the flock into the promised land, would he have embraced the fire and brimstone that now concludes the Pentateuch? As I said when I began this, I look at these pages from a literary point of view. And this is not the ending that I would have expected, or the character that I've come to know. Precisely because that character, Moses, was a gentle, reluctant prophet, called to a role he never wanted and never relished. A complex, perplexed figure, like all our fathers, with a brother, Aaron, that he can't quite command. Now, before you say nice retelling, pretty words, but what's the point? We know the story, or you're just trying to give Aaron his due, knock Moses down, and turn the tale into a buddy story, like Huck and Jim floating down the Mississippi. And I'll answer, yeah, maybe, to all those things. But what I think I'm really trying to do, and why I began this with my own memory, is to suggest the richness of the storytelling in these books, to shine a light on the depth of the characters, to give you perhaps a different way of looking at the 5 books and how we can all find a truth in them from our own lives. To bring to the books, to bring them to the kind of life they had when as a child you first encountered these Hebrews, to rekindle that wonder beyond the do this, do that rules and regulations that battle with a glorious storytelling on every page. The brothers' story is it comes up everywhere, and I thought we'd bring you another version of the A Brother's Tale. So, Alex.
My name is Joe Roberts. I work for the state. I'm a sergeant out of Perryville, barracks number 8. Always done an honest job, as honest as I could. Oh, I got a brother named Frankie, and Frankie ain't no good. Ever since was young kids, it's been the same. Calm down. I get a call on the short wave. Frankie's in trouble downtown. Well, if it was any other man, I'd put him straight away. But when it's your brother, sometimes you look the other way. Yeah, nothing feels taking time as the band played the Johnstown flood. I catch him when he's straying, like any brother would. Man turned his back on his family, well, he just ain't no good. Well, Frankie went in the army back in 1965. I got a farm deferment, settled down to Maria for my life. But them wheat prices kept on dropping till it was like we were getting robbed. Frankie came home in 68, and me, I took this job. Yeah, I'm drinking, nothing feels better. Taking two steps away as the band played the night of the Johnstown flood. I catch him when he's straying, teach him how to walk that line. Man turns his back on his family, he ain't no friend of mine. Yeah, we were drinking, nothing feels better. As the band Johnstown flood, I'll catch him when he's straying, teach him how to walk that line. Man turns back on his family, he ain't no friend of mine.
Nothing feels better than blood on blood. That was Bruce Springsteen. I mean, this is Alex, but that was who wrote the song.
Thank you for that request, Josh. Thank you for that teaching. Yeshua.
The rabbis teach that if even one letter is missing from the Torah, that it's pasul, a strafe. And the same is true with community, that if even one person is missing, one voice is missing, and the Torah is incomplete. So now if you are listening to Jeff and King, that could be me. That could be me up there teaching Torah. You're in luck because there will be opportunities to come in the coming months for you to share your Torah with us and to help complete this community. And so we circumcise our hearts. We cut away all the scar tissue, all the calcified bits, all the hardness, and the places where we're raw and vulnerable. Use those places as a point of connection. Turning to '87 with a reminder that it is on us to build the world we wish to see. Peace between brothers, between one another, and throughout the world. Rising as you are able.
We face Jerusalem together one last time this evening. Aleinu leshabeach la'adon hakol, la'teif gedula leyotzer breshit, shehu sam chelkenu leyached et shemo, v'gor aleinu lehamlich malchuto, v'anachnu korin, u'mishchachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. 591. V'nemar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz v'yom hahu Yeh Adonai echad u'shemo
Anton Chekhov offers a literary reading of life. That's despair is promised, joy we must seek out. So in this moment, inviting you to share moments of joy with us. Any good news to share, any joyous news to share, all kinds of reasons to despair, but bring the joy.
Finished a quilt top.
Finished a quilt top today. Beautiful.
Fantastic.
Other good news.
Hi, we're visiting Los Angeles.
That's the best news.
And that was one of the most powerful talks I've ever heard. Thank you for that.
High praise. Welcome. We're delighted you're here. Your son had a birthday. Which one? Lee had a birthday.
Happy
Happy
birthday,
to
Lee.
Lee. Other good news. Pretty sure we'll have to do this, right? Powerful words all around. Beautiful. That's it. There's hope. There's hope. Always, always. And joy. Hope and joy. Beautiful. Karen's taking the week off. That is something to celebrate. Other good news. We hold what's good with what's hard. Marking moments of joy with memory of loss and of those who are no longer with us. Turning to page
Do you want me to do it?
594.
Why should I wish to see the source better than this day? I see God, something of God in each hour of the 24 and each moment then in the faces of people. I see God, and in my own face, in the glass, I find letters from God dropped in the street, and everyone is signed by Hashem's name. And I leave them where they are, for I know that where so I go, others will punctually come forever and ever.
If you are in a period of mourning, 7 days, 30 days, a year of mourning, inviting you to rise and share aloud the name of the one you're mourning this Shabbat. Marking also the recent passing of Kitty Satinsky, remembered by Mark and Alan Satinsky, Max Amper, remembered by Carol Amper and Alvaro Flores, and Andrew Kerr, remembered by Sybil, Jacob, and Seth Kerr. If you are in a period of remembering or marking the yard site of a loved one, inviting you to rise and share the name aloud, the one that you're remembering this Shabbat.
We also remember in this period Emmy Hermberg, remembered by Ruth, her mother. Joan, remembered by Barbara Ronder. Ronnie Sue Karasik, remembered by Russell Karasik. Joan Chapman, remembered by Fred and Joan. Shirley Stone, remembered by David Stone. Rona Meyer Brandon, remembered by Linda Brandon. And Lawrence Capozzi, remembered by Mary Jane Klein. May their memory be for a blessing.
598, inviting you to rise. You are able to stand shoulder to shoulder in mourning and remembering.
Yitkadal, Yitkadash, Shemei Rabba, Ma Divrach, Yerute, Viamlich Machute, Bich Hayechon, Uvyomechon, Uv Hayek, the whole Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala, Uvizman Kariv, Imru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mivarach, Leolam Ulalmei Almaya. Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitramam, V'yitnaseh, V'yithadar, V'yithaleh, V'yithalal, Shmei D'Kudashah, B'rechu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, Tush b'chata v'nechemata, Da'amiran be'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba min Shemaya, B'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol b'nei Adam, b'imru. Amen.
Zikronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing, and may we live our lives as a blessing to their memories. 643 at the bottom of the page, let's also offer a song, a psalm of praise.
Hava, Hava, Shira, 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 Hava, Hava, Shira, Shira, Shira.
Sanctification of this day, 122. Perhaps you want to get a little closer. Perhaps you want to move in. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Perhaps there are some little hands who could help me hold this. There are some little hands.
ויהי ערב, ויהי בוקר, יום השישי, ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויכל אלוהים ביום השביעי, מקום מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישפוט ביום השביעי, מקום מלאכתו אשר עשה, ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי, ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מקום מלאכתו, אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. סברי, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהים מלך העולם, בורא פרי הארץ. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהים מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ברצון. בשבת קודשו, באהבה ורצון ובחילה, זיכרון למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תהילה, זכרי קודש, זכר יציאת מצרים. ואותנו תתעשה עם כל ושבת קודשך באהבה ורצון, הנה אותנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדיש השבת. We're gonna sip the wine?
You want to try it? We may not see this one for a time. I'm delighted you're here.
We give thanks to the one for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem
Amen, but amen. Shabbat shalom. With so much gratitude to all of you for being here and for your support and presence to sanctify this day.
Hi, Sylvan. Yes, good to meet you.
Miriam, welcome.
This is Pete.
Actually, welcome. And I live locally, what's the time?
Oh, yeah.
Section 8 to come check out the synagogue. The first camp that my partner, but he was in LA. So, but we
Yes, you're figuring it out. Yeah.
actually emailed someone about the First we got, so I'm gonna.
18-hour job. So we're in transition.
Yeah.
Our leadership, they're supposed to do now. We hired a director, he knows about me. In my card. And Shabbat Shalom. So nice to see you, Sean.
I don't know.
Wasn't hurt. It's just a local board. Is this me? Yeah, that's me.
Take it.
So you're, oh,
How old are you?
All right, so my first.
Yeah, that's going.
Whoa. I got it. And you're living in the city. I just moved to, so we're nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there all the time.
Well,
I mean, I'm not there all the time, but I like to go to the hardware store where I am all the time.
hardware store. Before I was a rabbi, I was a therapist, and before I was a therapist, I was a carpenter.
Oh,
And so it's like, there's all the, there's like, do you know about the surplus?
no.
Oh, it's like, so it's a surplus store, but it's like hardware, but random.
Ooh,
So like, if you're like
fun.
somebody like, let's just like make things.
Yeah,
out of
yeah.
chaos.
Yeah.
It's,
Oh.
it's in Kingston.
PT,
PN, like a PNT or.
Yeah.
All right, well, remember that, that's a good.
It's really, it's really nice. I go there for inspiration.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know any idea what I want to make. It's just like random piles of like hardware and
Yes.
miscellaneous stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the most random, or like, what would be the beginning?
So I was just learning to write. And so I'm making like, picture frames.
Yeah.
I did make a mezuzah,
Oh.
but I mostly just trying to make straight lines.
Uh-huh.
You know, so what do you like?
Right now, I just really like to fix my house up.
Nice.
So
That's
I
very
do
lovely.
a lot of free labor, all the stuff.
Okay.
But actually, I'm a quilter, and so my job is I'm a playwright. But I
Like,
quilt
so
on the side.
builder, hardware, like builder, writer, okay.
Yeah,
all these
yeah.
things.
So I teach at UCLA, and we actually.
Because they're probably doing a Zoom.
Salsa.
So
I guess they're doing that for Zoom, people who want to Zoom into the Zoom.
I spend the summers here now, so we're trying to, the academic and
There's a prayer for that.
yeah, right. Yeah. We're trying to figure that out and make a family.
Well, we have a number of filters here.
I was so surprised. I love that someone was like, I feel top.
We have another filter, it's just like.
Oh, wow.
It's just like great stuff. Hi, Shabbat Shalom, it's nice to see you. Delightful. Yeah, you don't go out in the rain. Well, we're glad you made it. It's so nice and outside. Yeah. I just had it on Tuesday, so it's really, it's really, but I just had a little procedure. So. No, I have a big alcohol injury, so I just. That, it's fixed, it's not the deal. Yeah.
So you'll feel better. Something.
Yeah.
I don't want to get.
If I'd like bigger people come. I'm supposed to be talking. Doesn't hurt.
The lower decibel is great.
That's it. Yeah. Also, I brought out a.
The lower decibel.
My mother used to say, every mother has a child. Yeah, we should have some college.
Well, that's. But, you know.
Right? Yes. Seriously. I know. But we're.
But I also don't think we're gonna.
Thank you. Thanks.
My husband just said you're off why.
Well, you know. You know, it's like.
That's all right. I'm
Means.
My first.
I'm glad it. Evergreen.
Oh, barely.
Yeah, there is. What street are you on? Now? No. Oh.
So, good, we'll see you in the restaurant. Usually, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Okay, that's okay. She's just one of a colleagues. She's Mary Alice, so that's similar. Your Hebrew name. See, you're very. You guys want to
Yeah.
So how are you? Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Did you just set up? You're part of this setup? Did you be part of this setup?
Oh, okay.
And that's why you were standing back there. You didn't even come and sit down.
I sat all day today at work, so standing was something that
It was nice to know that was outside. Where do you work? I work at a bank. Local? Yeah. I just thought you were, for some reason, I thought you were in the city working. Well, that's where I'm trying to find field. It's where I graduated. It'd be tough if she stays here and we go to the city. I went through that. That's great. Yeah, they know about the phone. That's wonderful. That wasn't even a thought. You know, a lot of people. No such thing.
Myself.
Thanks for your efforts.
And then, no, the other thing that I said, I told my daughter, everybody will be driving down to the car. So I said, maybe when I sit down with dad, and I took your car to go to the beach, and he was thinking,
Hi, Debbie.
yeah. Not that grandparent. Oh, I'm married, I told you, 39 years, we've been living together since January 1980. He's a homebody. He plays, the guy likes 60 guitars, just plays by himself. He's a homebody. He retired 6 years ago from the hospital. He's like, anxiety. But he's a nice guy. And his birthday is in the hospital. Yeah, just not that guy. You know, it's hard. I wanted to say it. I mean, I got him out twice this past week to a restaurant, you know. It's like fun, you know, to go. Not so nice, oh, you know. And then he goes out and he has fun.
Copy, I left a copy here. I don't know what's got.
You know, but it was a hard year. He had hip replacement in January. And he was down and out. Then I got injured and I was down and out. So we were good, but we just haven't.
You're up to 10 or not?
Life. Yeah, I have them everywhere. So for me, it's easy.
Still need to be broadcast.
But yeah, but they just rehab.
Whose laptops are these?
This one is mine and this one is Alex's.
Oh, so you bring it on?
Yeah, and you know, it's something I teach.
We'll get it out when I get home.
Thank you so much.
Rabbi Miriam. Rabbi? Yeah, we're both.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
They're visiting from LA.
Be on good behavior.
Very bad
behavior, Rabbi. Okay, well, enjoy your stay here.
Thank you so much.
How'd
Yeah.
you find us?
Oh, we looked up synagogue in the Hudson Valley.
We're there.
And there you are. Yes, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, a
Come.
pleasure.
Right,
Oh,
here.
oh, thank you.
So,
Safe travels. Safe travels.
Got a little time.
it's got various steps. before you go to the-
Debbie, are you still driving? Yes. Okay. If I, on Friday night, I got a ride.
I should know.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. I can't remember his name.
I just want to say, well done. Good job.
Thanks, Al.
Yeah.
Who was the guy? Real estate. Jim had.
I had dinner with him at Kabbalat, at
And I hadn't.
Leah's house.
Seen it in a while.